Here we go, episode 14.
Yeah, 14.
All
That's a
right,
good
we
way to
got
start it.
Aaron Acero here. How's it going, man?
It's going really good. Going really good. I feel bad now too. If we're doing last names, your last name again, Spencer
Spencer Brillhart.
Brillhart. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's right. You can look it up online.
All right, nice. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. Oh, hopefully I didn't bump that too hard. Happy to be here. I like checking out people's setup. So it's just cool to see how you're doing things, man.
Yeah, we're just in a movie theater apartment and kind of awkward sometimes because it's a little bit of a public area, sort of. We
Yeah.
uh we just had these we just got the setup all done. We were about to hit record and then like one of the management people just walked in with a guest, like they were giving a tour and they're like, oh, and
Which
like,
what a good selling point though for the people like, damn, some shit goes down at this apartment complex.
right, this
Yeah.
is some serious professional recording stuff, right?
Yeah, dude.
Packing blankets
I'm
hung
like,
up
oh
and
shit,
shit.
there's my in. But yeah, no, I'm stoked to be here, man, and see what that's all about, man. I missed the music scene. I was kind of out for a little bit there, but I kind of coming back in, and
All right, so let's tell the audience why I brought you here. It's about your show that caught my attention.
well, I put together a Z local show. It's been a few years. Really, it just originated from working at Band Oasis rehearsal studios next to Club Red. Which was a great experience. You know, I always talked with the bands that came in, and that's how it started. I was trying to do the advertising for Band Oasis, the online advertising, and also was talking to all these bands coming in. And I was like, well, boom, there it is right there. I can just film talking to the bands, and the bands will promote the venue, or not the venue, but the rehearsal studio. So that's really how that started, and now it's just become its own thing. I no longer work at Band Oasis. Now I work with SDR Studios out in Chandler, which are great people. I needed that. I needed the change. But yeah, it's been a good experience. I still kind of chug along AZ Local Show as more of like a funny place for musicians. I rock the Instagram nowadays, so I just kind of make funny memes and funny videos for musicians to relate to each other.
That's good, man. I've seen some of the stuff, and actually, when I was managing Argonaut for a while, a local metal band, I saw some of your videos, and it kind of gave me some ideas for some
Right.
of the stuff we use for marketing.
That's awesome,
So
and that's always the hugest compliment I can ever receive. Because I've heard this a couple of times, where like something I would do, and it would really spark someone's imagination to like, oh wow, I see that working, and maybe we can try something similar. So that's awesome. And honestly, that's what I realized. Nowadays you gotta meme your band. It's a crazy thing, the world we're living in, but doing something funny and stupid with your band is gonna go travel further than just releasing a top-notch recorded single.
yeah, I know, and I think it comes down to being like relatable.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
be relatable and seem like approachable
Yep.
as like a normal person.
Yeah.
If you're doing like random shit like like eating the hottest like hot wings you can, or like just cooking out with your band or whatever, like our band, or we rebranded recently as Cytera. So the band I'm working with now is called Cytera, and we've recently been doing like cookout videos where we had a cooking video where our our lead singer Luis was cooking fried chicken on the
Oh, nice.
stove, and our guitarist was cooking like some shrimp scampi recipe that he had. So
Nice.
it's like two kind of random recipes, but
Yeah.
we all had a cookout and the whole band was there, and we were
Oh, it's
just
great. No, that
you
it's
know
it's just something. Yeah, no, it's some sort of ulterior way of getting to people. It really
yeah.
is. It makes you memorable as well. And you sneak in music. I would hope you sneak in some of your
Oh
guys'
yeah, I mean
music.
it's our songs in the
Yeah,
background.
exactly. And that's the
So
way to do it because, people enjoy it, they share it, and lo and behold, your music is right there to be listened to at the same time. So, yeah, totally. And that's exactly what it was when I was doing the thing for Band Oasis was I would promote it, each episode like, yeah, here's the band. But really underneath it all was an advertisement for Band Oasis because at the end of it I would show the band in the room, playing live with using our equipment. It was all filmed at Band Oasis. So really, that's what it was. It was just this blanket of helping them out. Really, it was what it was. So that's it works.
yeah, it's easy to connect things together and kind of like piggyback off of each other.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I'm
Exactly.
doing with the metal scene kind of right now. I've had a lot of guests on this podcast that are like strictly from the Arizona local metal
Yeah.
scene, and that's just because like they're my buddies. I know them all, or
Yeah.
I know a lot of them. I don't know them all, but and I'm trying to know them
But
all.
and it's easy. It's an easy thing. We were kind of almost talking about it earlier, but before I said it, and I mean it in the best way when I say this, but people love talking about themselves, man. It's a really easy thing to know about yourself, and it makes sense. You know, what topic do you know the most about? Yourself, and people want to talk about themselves, and it's a good thing being on the other side of that and having an open ear sometimes, and just hey, what's up? And you really get to learn a lot about people from that aspect. And it sounds negative. It sounds like, oh, well, people just love themselves. Like it sounds like the vanity thing. But no, it's a good thing. People should be able to be comfortable
I don't
and
know. I think it's cool when people talk about themselves. Like,
exactly. Yeah,
I think it's refreshing.
I love learning about people, especially in my own realm of musicians and stuff like you're talking
I
about.
think it's weird how there's like some stigma in society how you're not supposed to talk about yourself. You're
Yeah,
supposed to be like totally unselfish and not talk about yourself and only be interested in others. And it's
yeah,
like it's kind of weird. Like I'm excited to share my personal like opinions and
right.
ideas with people. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that should be just as celebrated as like listening and
Uh,
gathering information from others. You know,
same thing. Like on that topic is listening to your own music. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you listen." Like, dude, why wouldn't I? This is my like,
it
this is
sounds
the
cool as
music that I
fuck.
love. You know,
Like it
like this
sounds
is
cool.
yeah, exactly. Like it's the ultimate. It's my personal music that I've created because I want it to sound this way. So why wouldn't I want to listen to
Like, do
it?
you really think I wrote this for you?
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah, right. But no, exactly on that topic though. Like, I mean, I feel like people, a lot of musicians, they feel awkward or maybe just like it's cringy to listen to their own stuff or wear their own shirt. But it's like, dude, if you're fucking proud of what you're doing, like, why wouldn't you want to do that
Dude,
shit?
the wear your own shirt thing, that bugs me so
Yeah, why
much.
wouldn't you want to be proud of
Yeah,
yourself?
it's like
Yeah,
when people say like, "Oh, you're wearing your own shirt, that's cringy." Like, fuck off.
yeah,
Like,
it's
I
a
want
small
you to
business.
I am a billboard now
Yeah,
for my own shit. Like,
exactly.
I am proud to wear this billboard.
Exactly.
Like, go listen to it. How about that?
And that's what bands have to that's what really it's a balance that we were talking about with becoming making things work and making the things a job basically is what I'm saying and having fun with it is you have to look at your band as a business.
Yeah.
Every chance you can get to advertise that business is only going to help you, so
Yeah, dude, honestly, like, it didn't even phase me. Like, I didn't even notice almost when like bands would wear their own shirts on stage. Like, for some reason, that is like people notice that and
yeah,
they like talk shit about it.
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
like, dude, like when I was going to shows and stuff, I didn't even notice, like, as a
yeah.
regular fan. And then I got in with Arcanaut and I started working with them because like they were close friends of mine. So I got in and started like acting as a manager for them. And they were talking about like the issue of wearing your own shirt on stage because they would do that, and people would talk shit about it. And I'm like, what? People are
Yeah.
talking shit about this? Like, what the fuck are
Yeah.
you talking about? Like, why?
No, and
And
it's funny too. The owner at Band Oasis Gym over there, he made a good point about it too. He's like, "Why would you be upset about someone wearing a shirt, but then they have the banner, they have it on the drum kit,
yeah,
they have the stickers. They're
they're
just like,
selling merch, they're
what's the
selling the
difference? Yeah,
shirts.
what's the
Like,
difference? They might as well just wear a shirt too. Yeah, so it's exactly. I totally agree with that point.
yeah, it's
It's just
dumb.
people. If you're proud of what you're doing, you should be proud of what you're fucking doing, and just you should be in love with what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you can't listen to your own music, then you're making the wrong music, basically.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
think that's like gonna, if you're being prideful about it,
Yeah.
that's just dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that too. Yeah, for sure.
If you're
Yeah.
making this statement like, "Oh, I can't wear my own band shirt on stage because that looks stupid,"
All right.
like, well, like if you like the band shirt, if you like your own shirt, like go ahead and wear it.
Yeah.
Like
No,
if
yeah,
you think it looks
exactly.
cool,
Yeah,
like
I've asked that as a crowd question, and that was the other thing that we were talking about. People like talking about their own selves and what's going on in the world. When I would do the crowd interviews for AC Local Show, I do miss doing that. It's just a little bit harder to go to shows these days and do that sort of thing.
it's
But
getting
when I
easier.
yeah, it's we're getting there. We're getting there. The lights at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, no. I brought up that question as a crowd question. Is it cringy to wear your own band shirt? And it was really cool just to hear people's take on it. Like the people that would right away like, yeah, that's cringy, it's cringy. But then the other people that opened my eyes because that really was where my mindset was for a long time was I kind of did think it was cringy, but doing that and asking people really opened my
Like
eyes to like
most,
yeah if I'm proud of what I'm doing, why wouldn't I want to wear my band shirt? So that was cool. And that's what's great about talking to people. You really
like how many times did you get the response where people were just totally ignorant of it,
yeah,
where they were
yeah,
just like, "What are you
exactly.
talking about?"
Yeah, like as if it was just like, why would you even do that for sure? But yeah, no, It is what it is, and I always, I always stand when I'm doing that. Stand from a standpoint of just collecting information from people and putting it together.
Yeah,
But that
shit.
one was one that always stood out to me, where I did have kind of a biased thought process going into it, and it totally changed coming out of it. So that was kind of a something cool that came from AZ Local Show for sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I like I said, I enjoy doing this podcast, and it's kind of relatable in a way. I'm not out there in the crowd talking with people and stuff, not quite that kind of setting, but getting people in here, like all sorts of different people,
Yeah,
and talking with them
perspectives,
about
man.
stories.
Yeah,
It's really cool,
yeah,
like getting
totally.
people's opinions and stuff.
Living in
It
all the same world and dream, basically. We're all trying to make it, doing our fun
Hey
things.
man, there's no rules.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate when people make fucking fake ass rules. Like
yeah.
you can't wear your band t-shirt on stage. It's like
Right. Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Are you working on anything right now? Are you still working on AZ Local Show or something else? Or
Not really too much these days, man. Like we were talking about with a balance of having fun and making it a job. I made Easy Local Show a job, and I was trying to make money from it, and it really wasn't working out. And it was stressing me out. And but now that I'm actually doing well in my actual job, um, I can actually have fun with AZ Local Shows. So I've been slowly getting back into it, just making funny memes and
yeah, I've
funny
noticed
things,
you've been
and
posting on stories and stuff
yeah,
like
little
that.
funny things like that. Yeah, I definitely do. Like I was saying, I want to get back into shows, like going to shows and talking to people and getting crowd opinions. But it's a lot of work. I did most everything by myself. Yeah, I've had some extra hands here and there, and like extra support as far as like the rehearsal studios and advertising me. But as far as like the editing and like taking the video, going out to the shows, putting together all these questions, it was all, it was a lot of work
Yeah,
to
man.
do as a pastime, to do as something for free while still stressed about regular life stuff,
Dude, video is way more complicated than just audio. Doing just this podcast with no video, like it's so easy because I don't have to worry about like these packing blankets are placed like all haphazardly. Like who gives a shit, dude? I can post a picture on Facebook, but it doesn't really capture how like homegrown this
You're
kind
right.
of
Yeah,
setting
yeah,
is, so it's like it doesn't matter because I can make it sound okay, but video, like it's hard to trick people into thinking that this is well done.
yeah. No,
With
totally.
audio you can trick people into thinking like, oh, this is well done,
Yeah.
and it's like I did this with not a lot of money,
Yeah, no, exactly.
not a lot of
And
money,
I'm right
but
there with you, dude. Like as the show was progressing, I just kind of I was running out of money to put into it. It was just like I wanted the best for the bands, and in the beginning, I was just doing everything with my fucking iPhone, bro. I just had like a lens attachment because the iPhone does shoot in 4K, and with
dude,
proper editing and stuff,
those new iPhones are
yeah, you can
crazy.
get away with some crazy things. So I had like a wide lens attachment on it for like the band interviews and stuff like that. But as like stuff progressed, I was like, man, I really need to get like an actual camera. Like you have a really nice setup. This costs money. When I was doing it, I just had a Boya mic that plugged into my phone, and that would strap onto your a lanyard type of mic. And that was the best I could do, and I would take it to my computer later. But shit, dude, this is way nicer than that. But that's why I always like going to other people's environments and see what's going on. But the point of that is that if you keep pushing, things will work out. It's just like even I just wanted to do it, even with my shitty equipment and me just starting off. I think a lot of people get overwhelmed with seeing the finish line. You're like, man, seeing this podcaster with their whole setup or seeing this whole thing, and it's like, I'm never going to get to that point. They don't realize it takes baby steps.
And also, some podcasts you see, some people start out with a lot of capital. They could
Yeah,
like invest 4 grand into it right away because they
right.
have a previous business, and all of
Totally,
a
yeah.
sudden they have a room in their house with a desk with microphones and fucking mixer and a video and all this
Yeah,
shit. It's like, yeah, because they had 5 grand to dump into it, right? I had
exactly.
like a couple $100,
Exactly. Exactly.
and I went to school that gave me a package with a laptop and a mic. So I started out with some equipment. Like
Yeah.
I had a good little head start because I went to school, right?
Yeah.
So it's like some people start from scratch. Sometimes all you got to do is like get a Tascam recorder, a little handheld
Exactly.
recorder, maybe like a cheap, like even right now in the mic bag I brought over, I have a Samson. It's like a C010. or like something like that.
Uh,
I forget the model number exactly, but it's a Samsung USB mic.
right.
So it's literally just a like a lightning bolt adapter in the bottom of the mic. It's not an XLR cable, and it goes to USB-C right to my computer.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's dope. And
yeah, if it works, it works. So that's the
yeah,
thing.
and you can plug it right into the computer, and it actually is, it has its own audio interface in the mic. So it's literally like a microphone straight to your computer, and
Yeah,
it'll go to any DAW, it'll go to like
yeah.
any recording
It works. It
program, you know?
works, man.
Yeah, and like you can get two of those. Like it was $90.
Yeah,
So if you get two of those and a laptop or a computer, you're good to go. You can
yeah,
record a podcast,
dude,
you
totally.
know. So it's like if you start out making episodes like real cheap, like I used my like just the school equipment I had pretty much to
Hmm.
start off with, and eventually I bought another mic.
Yeah,
Like,
and what's relatable about all this is bands, and that's
oh
why I
yeah,
still love relating to bands. Is like it's a small business. You have to start off small, and you just want to try and do it, and that's why I like talking to musicians and bands because it's the people that really know the struggle of trying and failing a bunch of times, which is what I'm all about. I love we were talking about. It's almost better to learn by failing because you learn that much better. So it's that's why I always relate to bands because it's taught me so much being a musician myself and trying to build something from nothing. You
yeah.
know?
And what's crazy about bands is like, you know, instead of just one person making creative decisions, you got four, so you're like
Yeah.
four times more likely to fail.
Yeah. No, totally.
So you
Yeah.
have a 25% chance of success as opposed to like somebody else who's doing everything right,
Yeah. No,
you know, because it's just the more people, more creative decisions, you got
mhm.
more ways to do things wrong, but more
It's kind of
opportunities to learn,
yeah,
you know.
kind of on that point, I was just thinking about it the other day. How much better like doing something like a band prepares you for the workforce as far as like management positions and stuff. Because doing sports, it's like there's this already structured thing, and you go in, you learn the rules, and you do it the way that it's supposed to be done. But as far as a band, it's almost like creating your own business, and you have to see what works, fail, try again, see
Dude,
what
and right
works,
now,
get people that you can work with. So that's why again I
and
stress like yeah,
and now too, nowadays
yeah,
the music industry had been pretty much set for like 30, 40 years,
yeah,
and then nowadays it's just been constantly evolving like fucking overnight
yeah. And there's
every
all sorts of
day.
music too, so it's really hard to see what you want to go with that works. But at the same time, you don't want to sound like you don't want to be a sellout or something like that and just make easy music. But honestly, I always think about this too. Dude, it's hard writing a pop song. Is as easy as it sometimes feels like it is because there's a formula to it. Like
Well,
I always
it's
appreciate.
a it's a shotgun blast.
Yeah, I appreciate all sorts of music.
You're
I appreciate everything from
you're
fucking Justin Bieber to Pantera, what we're talking about.
the way pop songs work is it's like they write 100 songs and release 10 of them.
Right? Yeah,
You know,
totally.
so it's
It's
like
a
it's a
great way to look
shotgun
at it.
blast,
Yeah,
dude.
totally.
It's not the same as like metal. People who write metal don't write like that. They don't
Yeah.
write 100 songs in a month. They
Mm.
write 10 songs and they put their fucking heart and soul into those goddamn 10 songs. And if they're not going to work, they'll scrap it and write a new one.
Yeah.
But
No,
they're
it's a
going to
great
put their
way to
heart and
think about
soul
it
into
too.
that one
Yeah.
too. You
No,
know. Whereas like
because those.
pop artists, like you write a catchy riff and you try to make 100 songs like that have catchy riffs, you know,
Yeah,
until you find
and
the
one of them just
catchiest one,
happens to be that
or
one that
you find the
works.
10 catchiest
Right.
ones,
Yeah,
you know, and
totally.
then, you
It is
know,
a
so
great
it's,
way to look at it, totally. Because that is the difference. That really is the difference. Because usually with pop artists, they don't have to worry about certain things. They're getting the beats from someone else or something like that, or whatever it be.
it's almost more visual.
Mhm.
They're almost selling like their visual as much as the music,
Yeah, it's
you
more
know.
entertainment for sure.
Well, it's all entertainment,
Yeah,
but it's more like like a more rounded source of entertainment.
yeah,
Whereas like in the metal scene, which is what I'm familiar with, this is why I keep coming back to it. I kind of try to relate to it because I feel like it's smaller, and I feel like people would get a lot out of it if they knew like how the metal scene worked
right,
and how like artistic it is rather than just visual and entertainment and poppy. Like
right.
how can we catch attention? Like it's not about that. It's like how can we get our art out to the public? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's more of a pure art form than pop music.
yeah.
And
No,
I
I
feel like
understand that for sure, man.
it's like relatable, but not. There's like a certain there's like some things that work, some things that
Right.
don't relate.
No,
It's
yeah,
kind of
for you,
weird.
do for sure. That's what I mean. That's why I love like just kind of exploring music and metal, especially is always has like so many subgenres. So it's cool just to be able to dip around. You know, progressive metal being my favorite.
Yeah, you like prog metal?
Oh,
What are some bands?
I mean, my absolute favorite is definitely Between the Buried and Me. They definitely do things properly, but I'm big into like
Dude, I actually saw
jazzy.
them live like probably a year
They're
ago.
probably the most the band I've seen the most.
Were you I bet you were at the show, huh?
Which one
It was
was
a
it?
Chon show.
A Chan?
Chon show.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Where
Dude, you're
the
probably there. Is
contortionist?
it the Is that Van Buren?
Was it the Van Buren or was
I saw
it?
them at the Van Buren with Sean.
Oh, really? Was it the Van Buren?
I
Wasn't
was at
that
the Van Buren.
Periphery?
I know that for a fact because
Okay.
me and my brother had this grand plan to get kicked out by moshing, and we realized we were probably going to get our asses kicked because we were way outnumbered.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I mean that venue is awesome, dude.
Like it was an interesting show, and it looked like everyone was having a great time, and it just wasn't our music. And
Oh,
he got free tickets, so I was like,
oh,
let's go,
damn.
man. Yeah, sure, we'll check it out, whatever. I'm not super into prog metal because it sounds like too like
Shreddy.
tweedly deedly deedly dee, kind of shit. And it's like I like the hardcore shredding, super fast paced, like
Yeah, yeah.
imagine Metallica's first album, Kill 'Em
Right.
All. That's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was my favorite album as a kid.
Nice.
I loved that shit.
And that's great. And it's there's moods that people get into. Like they're in that mood and they want to listen to that. When I'm listening to music, I'm all sorts of moods. That's why I love prog metal the most, is
Mhm.
because all of a sudden it'll have a country breakdown or
You-
some jazzy
yeah,
section.
I've heard some good prog metal, and honestly, Between the Buried and Me, that band was the best one there.
Yeah. Do you know who else was on that show? I'm trying to think of what show that. I don't think I went to that one, to be honest.
No.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I don't think I went to that one because the time I saw Between the Buried and Me with Sean, they were also playing with the Contortionist, and it was at Crescent Ballroom, which was a really cool show.
Hmm.
But yeah, Sean's great too, man. You like Sean, or is that too dwiddly dwiddly
You
for you?
know, I think that I would have liked Sean if they played their old stuff because what they did, and I don't know Sean at all. I don't listen to them, so this is like total ignorance right here. But so we were there, and they started playing like a song, and it was good. I liked it. I liked the melody.
Right.
Prog is all about like the melody and shit. Like how crazy can you get the melody, and repeat itself too. And it's pretty cool. Some of it sounds good, and it's like so they were playing some really heavy shit, and it was cool. And people were moshing, and I was like, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. So I was like in the mosh pit, I was kind of like pushing people around. It's not as heavy as I normally like. I'm in the mosh pit with Slayer and Amon
All
Amarth, and
right.
some super heavy shit. It's great,
I mean, I hate to cut you
and
off, dude, but you're wearing an Opeth shirt. Opeth is progressive.
Opeth is
Yeah.
like black metal.
Yeah, but they're like progressive
In
black
in in
metal.
hold on. You got me there. Opeth is one of those one-offs where it's like I listen to Opeth on a rainy day
All
because
right.
their music just sounds so like somber and like
Yeah.
it's so fucking good.
Well,
It's
I
like
mean,
soulful,
that's
And
the thing about proggy music is
you can't compare Opeth to Chomp.
I mean, but it's still they're both progressive bands though.
I would call Opeth more black metal than prog.
Well, if you want to get split hairs, but what I'm saying is they're both progressive bands. You know, if you were just to look at progressive bands,
I guess that's a vague genre.
exactly. That's why I love that's
When
why
I
I
think
love it. You know,
yeah, when I
that's
think
why my
of
favorite.
prog, I think of like the
You're
almost
thinking about Dream
like
Theater.
mathematical like math metal,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's
You're
like
thinking of
they
Dream Theater
do
type stuff,
music
which is
theory to the
cool.
max, kind
Yeah,
of like that
yeah.
shit. But yeah, Opeth. I got this shirt because it looks cool, dude. It's the it looks like a Viking. It looks like an Amon Amarth shirt, but it
Right.
says Opeth. I got it at Shirts and Things in Mesa,
Nice.
and yeah, I love Opeth, but it doesn't look like an Opeth shirt, does it?
No, oh, dude, I knew it was. Once I started like looking, I was like, wait,
It
you're
looks
wearing an
too
Opeth shirt.
violent to be an
You're wearing an
Opeth shirt.
Opeth shirt. I know their music.
I like the early shit, dude. I
Yeah.
don't like the new stuff where it's like all clean vocals. Like, dude, his heavy vocals were so fucking good. Like
Oh
back in the
man,
earlier
that's cool.
stuff, like
I mean, that's great too. And I always, I used to be like that where I didn't like any clean vocals. But dude,
no,
clean
I like
vocals.
clean vocals. I
Oh,
just
okay.
don't like the
His clean
softer
vocal.
music.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
like softer Opeth.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I like clean vocals, don't get me wrong. I listen to clean vocals all day long. I mean, there's some artists out there that are great. I mean, fucking like just off of metal, even like Chris Cornell
Nice.
and you know, like super talented vocalists that are just blow you away. They just make your hair stand up on the back of your neck. You know, there's
Let me throw
people
one
like
at you.
that.
What's the least metal band that you listen to or enjoy?
The least
The
metal
least
band
metal rock band.
rock. The
The
least
most
metal
least
rock.
metal, the least rockest, metalist artist band. I can name it to you right off the top of my head. James Taylor. James
James
Taylor
Taylor.
is fucking amazing. He shreds on guitar, but it's like acoustic folky stuff. It's like folk music.
Okay. Like what kind of music do I appreciate that's the
Yeah, what's
furthest
on your
away from
iPod?
metal?
What's on your iPod?
Like my liked songs?
Yeah, I mean, on your
I
what's a
mean,
band you listen
I
to?
recently, just recently, like driving, I've been listening to a lot of funk,
Okay,
like
nice,
James Brown
nice. Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
like fucking Bill Withers.
Oh, I never
Listen
heard
to a
Bill
lot.
Withers.
Yeah, you have. You've
Okay.
heard Bill
Oh,
Withers.
maybe I have. Yeah,
Yes, you have.
yeah.
Yeah, you've definitely heard
No,
Bill
that's cool. I
Withers.
always like throwing that curveball at people just to see where their
Dude,
spectrum of music
and
is.
honestly, I tell people this almost on every podcast, even like my music variety is just all over the charts. Like,
Really?
I am really picky, but it's like the genres are so strange. Like, I listen to
Yeah.
fucking like bitcore, like the 8-bit
Oh, nice. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
core, like dub mood and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
listen to like funk and jazz. I listen to some blues. I listen to even crazier on the spectrum, some EDM called Frenchcore and
Nice.
hardcore,
Okay.
like some super hard
Yeah.
like EDM. It's like the death metal of EDM
Okay.
music.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, I know an artist like
Yeah,
that
it's
for sure.
harder than like Skrillex.
Okay.
Skrillex is like
Right.
fucking Led Zeppelin compared to the shit I'm
No, that's
listening
cool.
to,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
No, there's an artist I used to get really into. He was called the Algorithm, but it was always called as gent step because it was like metal gent type music, but with like wah, 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 type of shit. It
Yeah.
was really cool and creative. But that was like the most in that genre I would get into. But yeah, no, I just appreciate music. You know, that's why I always just love talking to musicians of all sorts because it's all the same when you look at it. We're all in the same struggle.
Yeah, well, I'd say that the struggle has a pretty wide range of varieties for
Oh, for sure.
sure. Everyone's in a different situation. So, like, struggling as a country artist is going to be different than struggling as like a rapper or struggling as like a metal guitarist or a metal drummer, even. You know, even those two paths are different.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a lot of different ways you can take. You know, I've been talking with this dude. I've actually been working with him at some of the local theaters and stuff, doing theater shows. But he's a drummer and he does a lot of like rock bands and stuff. And I'm actually gonna have him on the podcast soon. His
Nice.
name is Aaron as well.
Oh, awesome.
But
What's his last name?
Aaron Hjalmarsson.
Okay, I don't know him then.
It's like some
Oh,
Scandinavian
that's
last
cool.
name.
Yeah,
It
I know
sounds
a
cool.
couple
But
Aaron drummers that I was like, oh damn, there's a third Aaron drummer than that
oh
exists.
yeah, there is. Yeah, he's local. He's here, but he does a lot of studio work and stuff. And I want to get him on the podcast and talk about working in a studio as a drummer and how
Nice.
that goes and stuff. I
Yeah,
thought
no,
that'd be cool.
that's definitely the gig that I wish I would have chosen instead of guitar is drummer or bassist.
It's never too late to learn.
There is, and I did try learning drums for a while. You know, I was okay. I could keep a beat, but from a guitarist perspective, you see drums and it's a drum set, you know. But as you get into drums, like you need the little lashes, you need the little thingies, you need the little part over here, you need all this little shit, and then you're gonna beat the shit out of the
Dude,
instrument.
the equipment is different
So
for
yeah,
sure.
it gets
It's
so expensive. So I feel for drummers, and that's why there's less drummers to other musicians because it is such an expensive hobby to and then if you can actually push it to become a studio drummer or a drummer that's probably in three or four bands which is usually the case.
well, I feel like the time and effort it takes to be a drummer is more than the time and effort it takes to be a guitarist.
Yeah, oh totally,
Like,
totally.
and the fact that they don't translate back and forth is insane. Like, so if you can drum and like, you know, play guitar, you're incredible. Like
That's actually
that's
my
insane
favorite.
to
Yeah,
me.
I love finding drummers that write music. one of my buddies, Corey, he was one of my favorites. That he'd write songs, and it's just also so rhythm based when you hear
Yeah.
someone with a drumming background making songs. Because I mean, he actually wasn't like playing guitar; he would just program the notes on the computer, and it would
Okay.
sound so
Well,
sick.
let me take this back. I said that they're not relatable. They are relatable in one sense, the rhythm
Yeah,
aspect.
and
They
that's
are
what it is.
relatable.
Well, that's
You
what I'm
know.
saying. Yeah, they write different. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I
A
just want to
drummer
take
will
that back. I didn't want
totally.
to sound like an idiot. they are relatable in a way.
Yeah, no. You know, it's a good point, but in the point that they're going to write different. They write
Absolutely.
more rhythm based than melody based because that's their background.
Yeah, have you ever heard a bassist try to play guitar?
Yeah, totally right. Yeah,
It
and
doesn't sound the
that's the
same.
thing too because you know when you see a guitarist jump to bass, you can kind of tell sometimes,
It's not
right?
a bass. They're
Yeah,
not
you can
playing
kind of
bass. They're
taste.
playing guitar on a different instrument.
You're right. Yeah,
Like
exactly. And that's the way to look at it too. Is you know usually they're playing with the pick first off, which is not a good sign, and then they're like you know playing it as a
well,
guitar.
there's basses that pick, man.
There's time and place for pick with bass, but
Yeah,
I
like my bassist Art, I'll have him on the podcast, I'm sure. Art, shout out to Art C. Choma. Yeah, whatever. But he plays with a pick. I was at practice with him the other day and he was playing with a pick and then he's like, "Oh, with triplets, I just put it in my mouth real quick and use my fingers
right
for
yeah
triplets."
that's what I was gonna say.
And
There's
then
time and place
cuz he
for
likes
picks
he
and
likes how sharp the sound is when you use a pick, you know? It
yeah
really stands out
yep
because the bass has trouble standing out in metal regardless. Like
yeah.
it's so much noise.
Even like
Like
in a recording sense, you almost want to use a pick to be honest.
yeah,
You
yeah,
have
for
more
recording
attack.
for sure.
Yeah,
We're using DI for all the recording we do, so the pick is good. We
right.
can alter the sound after that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I learned that as playing guitar because I would always use the jazz picks live, but when I would record, I'd jump to bigger picks because they just had better attack and just would sound better as opposed to those tiny jazz picks where you're only using the tip and a lot of the
Yeah,
times hitting your fingers.
it depends what kind of music you're playing.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
If
damn
it's
true.
quiet, you can use the tiniest little bit of the pick. Sure,
Ding,
yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? But if you're playing with like a full drum kit behind you and like
Yeah, you need
somebody
that attack,
slamming on a
right?
double kick pedal, like yeah, you got to have something heavy. But you should have seen the stack he was using on stage. Our bass
Oh
player,
yeah.
he would literally stack like four different
Oh
fucking
Jesus.
like cabs on top of each other
Oh
to
damn.
like keep up with the guitar.
Oh fuck. Damn, what was the
And
guitarist running?
um fuck, I forgot a
Uh,
Mesa cab with like I forget the head he was using.
fuck yeah, like a 5150 or some shit like
Yeah,
that,
that's
probably.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fucking loud. Both
Yeah.
guitarists. So it's two
Yeah.
guitarists, and then the bassist was like trying so hard, and we didn't have a lot of money, so it's like, what do we got? We could use for bass. We just stacked four fucking cabs on top of each other. Like there we go. That'll keep
Nice.
up.
Nice, dude. Yeah, that's
And
awesome. You know what? It wasn't until like the last few years of me being in a band where I finally learned about just going DI through my pedal board
yeah,
and my
that's what we're doing now.
yeah, dude. For like touring purposes for bands, that is like a
Well,
lifesaver,
some
dude.
guys love it.
Yeah, it's so much easier. Like, boom, there's my sound. It's dialed in right there. I just need to
Yeah,
plug in, get me to a volume everyone can hear me. But yeah, just like you know, nowadays for bands, they can just take off in a van and be perfectly fine. You don't need a trailer anymore with all your equipment because boom, right there, all you have to worry about is the drums, really, and even those. You can sometimes get away with just you know your cymbals and snare and just hope for the best when you get to the house kit. You know, but
no,
yeah. You usually hope for the best, depending on
no.
the venues you're going to. But
I know my drummer, and he would just not even say a word to me if I said something like that. He would just laugh in my face.
but yeah, that's like the one thing you would need is drum room. But yeah, amps nowadays you really don't need, dude. Like for if you have a good pedal board, you're dialed in already. You're good to go. Yeah,
Oh yeah, man. I know that pain, man. We as Arcanaut, we went to Texas
with all your
and
equipment. Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, we went with two bands.
nice.
It was Arcanaut and Condemned Till Dawn. We both drove out there.
In one van with the trailer.
They had a truck and I borrowed my dad's truck and we had one trailer. It was a
Oh
12-foot long
God.
trailer, the biggest fucking U-Haul trailer we could get, and it was not it was too big. We didn't need it. We could
Yeah,
have done away with the 8 foot,
well, it's
but
kind of dangerous too, right? It's Is this gonna happen again? After you
No,
walked
we'll
in?
be fine. It's locked. So
Oh, okay, nice.
yeah, if they try to walk in the door, it's locked. So
I'll probably start spitting some rhymes and act like he's recording me.
yeah, that's too bad. I need to get one of those lights that says recording. It has like the red blinking recording, set that outside.
Yeah.
But so they don't do tours. Like I feel kind of feel bad, but
Here we go.
oh no. Here they come.
Just letting the listeners know
Okay,
that
we're gonna
we're
pause for a
kind of
sec.
waiting.
All right, and we're back.
Nice. Yeah, no, I've done that plenty of times at Band Oasis rehearsal studios when I would be recording an episode and somebody like walk in, like trying to rent a room because that's when I would do it at Band Oasis was during the hours I was working there. So if a band walked in, I'd have to like take them
Pause.
pause and take them real quick or just edit it out later. But
Yeah,
it is what it
sometimes
is.
the apartment they do tours and they got to show off the movie theater, and the person was like trying every single key on their key ring, and I
Well,
was like, okay, I got it, and I went and unlocked the door, but whatever.
well, it is funny too because like you said apartment theater and I wasn't thinking a movie theater. I just thought like this big space, but yeah, it really is a movie theater. It is
Yeah, dude,
pretty
it's got like
cool.
an inclined floor. How
Yeah,
many seats are in?
I
It's like
would say that's like
six.
a
Oh, what is it? 7 seats in 3 rows.
nice little
28
like
seats.
80-inch screen, or I don't know what that is. Probably bigger than that, to be honest.
21 seats. I'm dumb.
It's a party. It's a party. But
Yeah,
no, I like
whatever.
this
I got a
here.
beer. Yeah, the projector seems pretty nice. I mean, every time I come in here, the TV's on, so I assume maintenance is watching TV on their breaks.
Oh, for sure.
But
Checking this place out.
I've never actually seen anyone in here except when they're doing tours.
Just like check it out real quick. Yeah, we'll probably never go in this room, but
I'm
it
the
is
only one that
cool.
uses it.
This is a
Like,
nice room that we'll never go to.
yeah, yeah. There's more people using the pool than the movie theater.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
But it's Phoenix, Arizona, so whatever.
It's always hot.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask if are you gonna be pulling more bands into AZ Local Show anytime soon?
Not too soon. I guess I'm still sort of waiting for the world to die down a little bit. These past few years have been a little weird for sure.
Yeah,
It
for
does
sure.
seem like we were talking about. There's a little bit of a light coming at the end of the tunnel. I went to a show to help film recently. My buddy put together like a memorial show over at Crescent Ballroom. It was a really fun concert, but yeah, it was the first concert I had been to in like
Oh, I think I heard about that.
over a year.
What were the
The band's
details on
called
that?
Peach Cake. I don't know if you've. It's
Peach
like
cake.
it's not metal. It's
Oh,
they're like
then it's not the same thing I'm thinking
yeah,
of.
no, it wasn't a metal show. No, it was a really fun show, but they're like I don't know how to describe it, like techno pop type of music with synth type of stuff in it, I
Like
guess. But
synthwave.
yeah, synthy type stuff. But the singer unfortunately passed away. But I know the guitarist in the band, and I helped film just a little bit of the show. He got me in for free. But yeah, like I'm saying, that was the first concert I've been to in like over a year.
Did they have somebody fill in for vocals, or did they just do
Yeah, they did.
instrumental?
They did. They had a friend filling in for. I think it was him to be. Yeah, he was filling in for vocals for a lot. And like one of the last songs, they kind of played along with the live track. Well, so the singer kind of had that moment to
Yeah,
sing
yeah, that
along. So
makes
that was
sense.
really special too. So that was really cool and all. But yeah, like I'm saying, man, that was the first concert I've been to in forever. I had my negative vax result with me that I got earlier in the day. I because I'm not vaccinated and I don't like talking about it, but I'm not vaccinated.
Hey
But
man, I'm in the same fucking boat, man.
yeah, I don't like talking about it. It's a weird,
There's a lot of fucking people that are in that boat.
yeah, it's a weird world to talk about out loud, but
Who
it's my
cares?
choice. It's what else. But yeah, point is I spent like a good 2 hours fucking going to go get the negative card, going my trip back home, doing all that shit, waiting for it, and getting that 24-hour negative result. I go to the show. Not one fucking person asked for it the
Nope.
entire fucking time. It's so stupid. Like, so I'm just waiting for things like that to die down.
Dude, get this. Like I'm working at the Orpheum Theater downtown Phoenix, right? And I'm just gonna call this out right out the back because I don't give a shit,
Yeah, I
dude.
don't give it either.
I'm working for the union, so I'm sort of protected in a way. They're gonna give me jobs because they need me to work. But okay, so I got this job for the Orpheum. They needed somebody to fill in for head audio,
Uh,
just as a position for the title, right? I don't normally do head audios. I don't have the experience. I don't have like 5 years of audio experience to run the headboard at a show.
right.
It was a Disney princess show. So it was a Disney show, right? Sponsored by Disney, right? They said vaccination only, like vaccination
Yeah,
cards,
up the
you
ass, right?
know. And so I got offered this position over a text message, and I said, "Yeah, I'll do head audio at the Orpheum because I know the Orpheum. Like I've worked there the most. I'm pretty good at it.
Nice.
I know the system okay, and they're already going to have a head audio guy from Disney, like working the
Oh, damn.
not from Disney, but hired by
Yeah,
Disney
okay,
to do the head audio.
representing, yeah, yeah.
He is the one doing all the audio. He told me to go away so many times I can't even count. But like I kept asking him, like, "You need anything, man? You need anything?" And he's like, "Nope." Go away, like
Wow,
we're good,
really?
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
damn.
Like he's like trying to be polite and like you're annoying me,
Yeah,
you know.
fuck.
It's like okay, he didn't want me to touch anything, because he doesn't
Damn.
know me. He's
Yeah.
like, I know how this goes together. Please don't touch anything,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
and I got it. I get it. It's my job to ask.
Right.
It's my
Yeah.
job to
You're
ask,
just doing whatever
and
you're
it's
supposed
my
to do.
job to say to go away when he tells me to go away.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
okay, whatever. And I was getting paid head audio, whatever.
Nice.
And but the thing is, when I got offered this job, he said, "Bring your vaccination card and your ID and social security or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, I don't have a vaccination card." He's like, "Okay, well, like, are you vaccinated?" I was like, I have not taken the COVID-19 vaccine." That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's like I have other vaccinations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can't say I'm not vaccinated because I am. I
Yeah,
am
no, exactly.
vaccinated.
And
I have
that's,
not
yeah.
taken the COVID-19 vaccine. That's what I said. And
Mm.
he said, well, they're requiring everyone on the crew to have a COVID-19 vaccine. I'll get back to you in a second. And he said, just bring one of the home antigen tests when you get there, like, or bring the results or the test
Right.
when you get there. So I brought a test with me. Nobody asked me a goddamn thing about it at all.
That's the
Like
funny thing,
nobody said a
bro.
damn
I think
thing.
it's
So it's like
fucking
I had this
dumb.
test in my pocket for like a good 2 hours while I was working. Nobody said anything. So I dropped it off by the rest of my stuff. I just left it there, and it's like okay,
Yeah, I don't
whatever.
like digging to it because, like I said, man, whatever, man. I respect people. If
It's
you
weird.
do you, yeah, do
It's just
you?
weird.
I'm gonna do me. That's how I like to live my
I don't
life.
fight people.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly. I
fight
don't.
anybody.
Whatever you want to do with your life, you go ahead and fucking do it. I'm gonna do whatever I
Exactly.
want to do with my life too. But that's what's been making doing AZ local show hard and just like making everything weird for me. It's just like I don't want to have to like deal with like some sort of backlash or like I'm taking a stance or something. It's like, no, I just want to
Well,
live my life, It's
the
like,
way I see it is most people in the local scene here in Arizona specifically, like they share our stance. They don't really care. Like they don't care whether you're vaccinated or
dude,
not, whether they have the vaccine or not. Most people in Arizona, especially in the metal scene, do not give a shit whether you are vaccinated or not. They don't care.
yeah. Well, the thing that I
Like
find unfortunate is the amount of people that I've seen harp on it and like talk about it, and then instantly when shows opened up, I see pictures of them at shows without masks and stuff like that, and I just thought it was kind of ridiculous. Like, why are you harping on this so much? And like, I don't know. It's just a funny weird thing that we're in right now, and I'm sure it'll pass eventually. And like I said, I don't like digging too much into it, and I respect people. If you want to live the way you want to live, it's your choice, and that's the same way I feel about myself. It's just like
yeah,
I
dude,
want to,
just makes things difficult sometimes.
yeah,
Whenever you make things harder to do for other people, things get more, labor intensive and things take more effort and they get more expensive. And,
yeah,
it makes things harder when you're trying to run a business,
yeah,
and that's like one aspect of a very complex problem,
yeah,
and the complex problem being the pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So there's a lot of facets to this. And, running a business is just one. And mandates are very difficult to get past
Yeah,
when you're
right. I
running a
know, right?
business.
Exactly.
So it makes the live sound industry a little fucking, like hungry. Like there's nothing
Right.
going on
Yep.
because it makes everything difficult to like,
Yep. But
you
yeah,
know,
exactly. I mean, it's just what took the fun out of it because obviously going to concerts is supposed to be this fun release, this worry-free
yeah.
night of fun, and having all these other stipulations put on it just took all that away from me. It was just like, man, well, this isn't. Now I have to worry about all this other stuff I have to do and get, and it was just like, fuck it. That's why I haven't been to shows in forever, which is also a bummer. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I know. The last show I was telling you before we started. The last show I went to was like almost a year ago. It was the Amaya show.
Nice.
It was at the Rebel Lounge. Um, and it was with Condemned Till Dawn and Amaya.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah. I think I
a
remember this. I didn't go
really,
to it, but I remember seeing it.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a really cool show. It was awesome, and yeah, they did really well. It was great,
Yeah, those
and
Maya guys are great. They do they're really cool guys. I was kind of working with them shooting a video. I don't know if they'll listen to this, but I mean, I still want to work
dude, they
another
were
video.
literally my last guest.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I
I'm sure
had
they'll listen
Wade
to this.
and Bradley
Yeah,
on
I still want to
episode
work with them.
13.
I still want to work with them. What was kind of a bummer
They'll
was
totally hear this. I promise you. I know
yeah.
those dudes really well. They'll
Well,
listen to it.
to get into this because I want to work with them again. But I shot like a little playthrough with them like right after COVID was just opening up again. Like it was 2020, mid 2020 or something like that. Or maybe it was the beginning of it. But we shot a playthrough, and when I was still using like my iPhone with like a lens attachment. And then like a whole year went by before like I heard anything from them, and I upgraded my shit. I got better camera equipment, and they finally hit me up like saying, "Oh, hey, we got the good audio. We can edit together." And I was like, "Bro, I don't even have that video anymore for one, and two. Even if I did have the video, I wouldn't even personally want to. Oh, sorry, I wouldn't even personally want to release it." Just because I've upgraded my shit so much more. I would love to shoot like another video with them. So
Dude,
you
they
and Maya
will.
boys,
They
let's do
will.
that, man.
They
Yeah,
want to work, man.
yeah. I know
Trust me.
they're staying busy, so I would love to stay busy with them. But yeah, no, they're great guys. What's really cool about it is my old guitar, my Ligator that I had was a fan fret. I loved that guitar, dude.
Oh,
But
that's sweet.
going through tough times, I sold it to their drummer who now plays guitar. I believe. I think he switched to guitar permanently. I forget his name. I think it's Anthony. Who's their drummer guy
Are
in the
you
band?
thinking of Condemned Till Dawn?
No, I'm thinking of Amaya
Amaya?
Boys. Yeah, who's their drummer?
Their drummer right now is a new dude.
Okay, right. So
Brand
did the
new.
old drummer move to guitar?
No. Their new drummer is from out of state. He's from Nevada, I believe.
Hmm.
Their
Wasn't it
new
Josh for a little bit though? From iPariah?
Josh. No, I don't
Josh
believe
wasn't helping
so.
the Amaya boys?
Maybe they were.
I'm pretty sure he was, bro.
Yeah, okay. If you know, then I don't. Like, okay,
I would bet money to be honest. I'm pretty that much
I
positive,
don't know them that well. Let's say it that
yeah.
way.
But yeah, last I heard, that was the conditioning of the situation. And yeah, they have my old guitar, which I've been dying to see video of him playing because I missed that guitar. I just miss how gorgeous it was. But I got it from on Andre, the guitarist from fucking Dead World Reclamation. So it's a really nice one. Just bragging about that guitar I miss.
Yeah, dude, I like just the way the fan frets look. They
Dude,
look
yeah,
cool as
you know
hell.
what's do you own a fan fret or
No, I have
okay?
a couple guitars. They're pretty
They're
basic.
great for shredding. If you're just doing like bar chords and stuff like that on the low end, you're perfectly fine. But for like proggy shred dudes like I was
Oh
trying to be,
yeah,
yeah, like I was trying to do all the widdly walls and stuff
super
like that.
precise.
It looks
Like,
really cool,
yeah,
and it actually was a lot smoother for like sweeps and stuff at the bottom.
yeah, dude.
It was really
And the
nice.
way I learned about fan frets is crazy. It's this dude. His name is Don Ross.
I
He's
heard
like
of this one.
this classical guitarist, and this guy's a magician, dude,
Nice.
on guitar. Like,
Really
I got into like solo guitarists for a while. Like, speaking
nice.
of weird
Yeah.
ass music I listen to, I got into solo acoustic guitarists like Andy McKee
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He
and
did like all the
like
slaps on shit, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
Edwin Dobson.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the guy that plays like techno on guitar, like
Oh, I
some
don't think I've checked out
like
that
Edwin
dude.
Dobson is crazy, like
Nice.
some Canadian guy.
I mean, you
He's
can get pretty lost on
nuts,
that
dude.
type of stuff on
And
YouTube.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
all like finger pick, kind of
Yep.
guys. And
Yeah.
Don Ross is the craziest guitarist I've ever seen in my life. And I saw him playing on a fan fret one time, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like that guitar, the frets aren't straight. Like, what is
Dude,
that?" And like
well,
that's when I learned. I was like, "Oh shit!"
have you heard about True Temperament fucking frets?
Oh,
It's where the frets are all sorts of crooked. I don't know if you know. Okay, so what is it?
oh, you mean like
It's like a
microtonal shit?
microtonal type stuff.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so
I've seen those guitars, man.
your what is it? Elephant Anti G. You know your G string is always out of tune. Like you can always just hear that one third to bottom string, and you can always just it's sort of always not there. You can always tune the ones up, but it's always oh fuck. I keep bumping the mic. I'm sorry, people.
Oh, hold on.
Um,
Give me 1 second. We're gonna pause real quick. All right, so the microtonal guitars.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, it's kind of mind blowing, but the traditional straight across fret it actually is playing the wrong notes to a sense degree. To get to the actual perfect scent of a note, you have to make the frets fucking crooked as shit. It's kind of crazy how
And when he says cent, you guys, that means like a fraction of a note,
yeah,
like
it's
from A to like a
not even A
flat
sharp yet, not
to
even there
B
yet. Yeah,
or
yeah. It's
whatever.
like the
Like
in between of it,
yeah,
like
it's
the
like
centimeter on
yeah,
the
it's like
ruler. Yeah,
fractions. Like if you're thinking of 16ths of an inch, that's
yeah.
what a cent is, or
Normal
even less than that. Like
normal humans would never even notice it, but it's crazy to think about these little things. But yeah, those true temperament frets are one, they look fucking nuts, but it's almost the most difficult thing to play bar chords on them because the frets are all crooked and crazy. But it's just something to check out, man. When I started getting into that world of like microtonal stuff, because there's other guitars where you can actually move the frets
oh
and
wow,
add frets to it.
like
So
modular frets.
yeah, so you can like, it's so nuts the world. It's YouTube. You go down a rabbit hole of
Oh
YouTube
yeah.
videos, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is this shit?
There's some
Like
engineers out there that make some crazy instruments.
yeah, and
Like
so the guitar world is just booming these days. I always wanted a headless guitar. I never got one of those,
oh,
but
those look cool.
yeah, those always look really cool. And what's cool about headless guitars is the weight's perfect. That's what's good about them because traditional guitars with headstocks, it's kind of bad for your shoulders for a long time. And that's what's cool about those headless stock guitars is the weight's perfect. So it's almost like you're sitting classical style with the guitar in your knee while you're standing. It's kind of
Oh,
crazy.
okay. So it doesn't like tip forward on you.
Exactly. That's what's nice about the headless guitars. Yeah,
You're not holding anything up. It's pretty much all on your
it's just
shoulders.
yeah, it's just right there in your body.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I noticed when I was looking into the solo guitarists and stuff, I kind of fell into the microtonal kind of
Oh,
thing, and I
dude.
noticed it's a lot of like the Middle Eastern, like Indian, like Eastern kind of music.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's nuts getting into that, and I actually got into that when I was drumming, just like Indian patterns and stuff, like because they do. I forget the name of it, but they basically go ti ta ta ka ka ti ta ta, and basically every rhythm, like a triplet, will be like ta ti ka, and like a quadruple, or like groupings of four would be like ta ti ka ta, or something like that. So you put all these things together, it's like ta ta ti ta 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 ti ka ta 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 ta. And they have something, I forget the actual name of it, but that's when I was getting into when I was playing drums, just like learning patterns and shit like that. So it's
That's
kind of nuts, like
crazy, man.
branching out, learning about music from other places and
And
stuff like that.
it sounds weird because like growing up in like Western culture and like as an American, like you
Yeah.
hear music like that and you're like, how the fuck do they even get there?
Yeah,
Like,
no, and that's another thing I always like thinking about too. Eastern and Western music, especially because they're so different. If especially what you're just saying, like being from Western culture, just first introduced into Eastern music, you're like, whoa, what is this? This sounds terrible. It all sounds off, but it's because they're hitting notes in between our notes that we don't
well,
appreciate.
it's not even terrible. You just your brain is like, what is this?
Yeah, it's
Like, what the
confused.
fuck am I listening
Yeah,
to?
yeah, totally, and that's what it is. It's confused because it's never heard these shit before. It's like it's these tones and things, and that even happens with languages. Like there's tonal languages that are just based off. It could be the same word but different tones.
Dude, I love listening to other languages.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know why, but like I just listen to it. I'm
yeah.
like,
I get into that
I
shit
don't know what they're
too.
saying, but
Hmm.
like I could listen to an audiobook in another language and just be like, this sounds fucking nuts. This sounds crazy to
No,
me.
yeah,
Like,
I love shit like that. Just different cultures, man. Just seeing how we came to be, and just where we're at and shit like that, and just like, we're only the way we are because where we were born. If we were born in somewhere other location, we'd be completely different. It'd
yeah,
be
it's
kind of
hard to
nuts.
imagine. And like I'm trying I was trying to like travel and stuff. That's kind of why I like joined the Navy.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool,
I
man.
was in the Navy for 4 years, but
Oh, nice,
I
dude.
tried to get like out of the states, try to like see other places,
That
and it
didn't
didn't
happen, or
happen.
oh, wow, really?
No, I joined the Navy to get on a boat, and they sent me to Maryland, and I stayed in Maryland for like 2.5 years.
Oh
I
shit.
went to like a year and a half of school, like to be an electrician, and I like chose orders to be on a boat to work on like I was an aviation electrician at the end of my school.
Oh, damn.
So I was like gonna work on airplanes and like the electronics and shit for airplanes, like batteries and
Nice.
lights and whatever. And like right before I graduated the school, they took my orders away. They're like, "Nope, you're going to Maryland. Like those orders to the carrier don't exist anymore." So
What?
I was like, "No!" Like I wanted to go to Japan so bad,
Oh,
and like I
fuck.
know that carrier was going to go to Japan. The Ronald Reagan is like one of the fucking like
Oh,
top notch carriers in the Navy,
yeah.
and it's on the station in the Pacific. It's
Uh,
going to Japan. It is going to go there.
dang.
So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go see Japan. And like
Yeah, yeah.
right before I graduated, they're like, nope, you're going to Maryland. It's a
Fuck.
it's a land
Damn.
station. It's an airfield
Oh,
in like the middle of
shit.
nowhere. Like
And damn, and
for
then you stuck it out another two
I
years?
had to. You sign a
Fuck.
contract and you're
Yeah.
there, dude. You can't
Damn.
just leave. You go to jail. Like
Fuck. Yeah,
that's how the
yeah.
military is. Once you sign the contract, you
Dang.
can't break it. They put you
Yeah.
like that's illegal.
Damn, bro, that sucks.
It's like, yeah, like I was making money, but I couldn't do anything. I was like 40 minutes from the nearest town.
Oh, Jesus.
They literally like the first year I was there, they built a movie theater in the town, and that was
Oh my
like
God.
it was a Harkins.
Oh,
They put a
jeez. And that
Harkins
was the
like
first movie theater? Yeah.
yeah. It's like there was
Dang.
a Walmart,
Yeah. And that was the
there
party
was a
pot.
Home Depot, I think.
Yeah, that was the meetup spot
It was
right at
like
the Walmart.
Payson. It was
Yeah.
like Payson, dude. I was like living in Payson, man. It's
Oh,
like a
jeez.
small town, 80% of the people there worked on base.
Damn.
The town was
Fuck. Yeah,
there
it's
because the
basically,
base was
yeah, it's
there.
basically
Like,
that.
yeah, and it was so boring, man. Oh my God.
Yeah. Damn, what a switch up on you,
It
man.
was, it
Yeah.
was bad. I wish I would have gone to that carrier. My life would have been so much different.
But no, that's cool, dude. You're in the Navy. I always appreciate shit like that. I've never
Yeah, it
done anything
was.
cool like
I
that.
mean, I did it for the school. I'm not gonna lie about it and say like I did it for my country. It was like I'm super honorable or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know that you get free school for joining the Navy,
Right.
and I was like, you know what? Like this community college sucks. Like GCC is garbage. And I'm not learning anything, and I'm not motivated. I don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to work. I'll just fucking join the Navy and go to work, and I'll learn something there.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then when I get out, I'll have free school, and then I can go learn whatever the fuck I want for
Yeah.
free. I
Yeah.
won't have to worry about fucking paying for community college or
Dude,
whatever.
that's awesome.
And then like that plan worked out. I got the school and everything, but
Yeah.
like the experience was kind of shit.
To get to it. Yeah.
Oh well.
No, yeah.
Some
But
people
that's
get
awesome.
fucked.
I mean, what it is an investment in yourself, and that's really cool that you did that.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of the options I had. Some people aren't as fortunate. Some people can't join the military.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
I hear a lot of people who are like, "Man, I wish I could have joined, but I have a bad back or I have a
This
bad
is like
leg
your
or
mid-20s, obviously, right?
I
Your
was
early mid-20s.
I was 19 or 20.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Like
Well, my point is,
I think I was 20
yeah, my
when I
point to
got
that
it.
is that during that point in time, I was wasting a shitload of time just being a stoner kid with my friends, living with friends. So,
That's what I wanted to do.
well, you didn't, so that's good. Yeah,
Well, it came down to I was running out of money
yeah,
and I didn't want to like get into like, oh, I have to live with my parents to like find a job to blah blah blah. That whole story. I didn't want to do that.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, the only way to not do that and like live that life is like working at, Michael's craft store isn't
Yeah,
gonna
getting
do
shit
it.
done.
So,
And it is what it is. And I
so
always appreciate that shit too. I mean, I mean, going on vacations nowadays as an adult is so much nicer than when I was younger, just getting away because like my bills are paid. And I come back and
yeah.
like I have money still. It's like before I'd be like, as a broke musician, I'd go on tours to California or what it is, and we'd come back just broke. It was fun,
Oof.
but
Yeah,
just coming back with absolutely no money. Just
that's what happened when we went to Texas.
yeah,
We
exactly. It's like
we spent all our money on gas pretty much.
yeah, it's a cool experience, but it's not a smart business way of going about it.
No, we didn't gain anything from that.
Yeah.
We gained nothing at all.
Well, you gain, you did
We went to Texas and we learned what it takes to go to Texas.
exactly, and
That's what we
that's
learned.
what you got to take from it. It's
Yep.
just like we're talking about with like failing and learning from that. It's like you still learned what that experience was like, but then you have to learn the business side and how you can make money and like eat really well and still make it back, home safe.
Yeah.
while having a fun time. And that's the balance that we've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah.
It's
Pay
just
yourself per diem when you go on tour.
is you really got yeah. It's tough, but it's really a delicate balance. I think one thing that a lot of bands have to realize is you can take your time with releases. If you're writing music, it took a year, and the recording feels like it's taking another year, then everything's going to take 2 years. That's just how it is.
I can agree, but also there's situations where that doesn't work. And I feel like I'm kind of in a situation like that.
Well,
Like,
it also depends on uh, being smart about what you're recording, because nowadays bands can survive off a single, especially smaller bands. You can record a really good single, spend like $400 or $500 on a single.
well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
This is something I'm going through right fucking now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call it out
What?
because I don't care right now. But as far as like releasing a single goes and surviving off a single, if a band only has one single, what do you do? The only thing they have is one song on YouTube. You know,
Yeah.
is that marketable to be monetized?
Depending on the song, depending on how you market, for sure. And the other thing about it is
How would you
you
monetize
well
one single?
the other thing about it is you can't just have that single and not be ready to record again. You have to basically be ready to go into the studio to record another single while you're releasing this single. So in 2, 3 weeks after that one single and video, because you need a music video with it too. You can't just release the single
There's a
nowadays.
lyric video.
You need a music video. Lyric video is perfectly fine. You can release that, and within 3 weeks to a month, you need to be releasing another single and basically repeating this process
Wait. What
for a
was that
whole month.
timeline?
3 weeks to a month.
3 weeks to a
So
month.
basically, you need to have your prepackaged video single ready to go. Hold on to it for however long it takes you to save up money to go back into the studio again. And and hopefully time works out where you're able to release your single and video, promote the fucking shit out of it, and then you can be ready to release this other one. And honestly, 2, 3 songs, like people can live off an EP, especially younger bands. You can live off an EP, but going full speed with a whole 12-track album, it's gonna kill the band. Honestly, nowadays, especially younger bands, I personally feel like we're talking about metal bands, they put a lot of heart and soul into 10 or 12 songs, and it's hard to just do that right away again. So it's better for you just to release 3 or 4 really solid songs and then release 3 or 4 really solid songs the next year until you have the fanfare to do 12 songs.
Well, what my plan was with the band I'm managing now is we were going to release a single roughly every month.
Yeah, perfect.
And we were going to come out with roughly 10 songs. Our ideas are still a little like fuzzy, we're
Right.
still trying to hammer out exact numbers and all that. But for right now, we're kind of testing the waters by releasing like 3 singles
Yep.
and then grouping it into an EP at the end. Because I feel like now with the streaming platforms, and I feel like they're going to kind of morph into this strategy more because it's becoming more popular. It's called a waterfall release strategy, where you release a single and group it in an album by itself, and then other singles you release fall into that album as they're released.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a waterfall,
Yeah.
It kind of just goes on top. The next song goes on top. The
Yeah.
next song goes on
Yeah.
top. And that's kind of what I want to do with this EP that we're doing now, and possibly the next album we're going to come out with.
Oh, for sure.
So the problem I'm having is that I am trying to promote a band with one song right now because we are brand fucking new.
Yeah.
Our next song is coming out on the 25th, by the way. So the second Acero song is coming out real fucking soon.
So
If you want to listen to it,
Yeah, exactly.
it's
So you're
here.
doing what I'm
We
saying.
don't have a video yet.
Yeah.
We have the song, and we're probably gonna release it just with the cover art because we don't have the resources to make a video right now.
Dude, I'm your
We
guy.
will
I don't charge
eventually.
that much.
For the third song, we are gonna try to go and get a music
Yeah.
video ready to
It's just
go.
so important these days. We're just such visual creatures nowadays, you
Well,
know?
it's the media is visual, is
Yep.
what it is. The media used to be auditory. When everything was radio, everyone was listening to the radio.
Right.
Like sports events, boxing matches, shit
Yeah,
like that.
totally.
Music, everything was radio. Now everything is with your eyeballs
Yep.
and auditory as
Yep.
well. You gotta have both.
Yeah.
And eventually, it's gonna be like, you're gonna have to be able to like do a
Physically
VR
feel it. Yeah, yeah.
experience. You're gonna have
Feel
to
it.
be able to
Yeah.
do like the VR kind of like feel to
I
it too,
mean,
with the
yeah, totally.
spatial
We're sort
aspects.
of
You're gonna have
already
to
there. I've
create
heard of
that.
concerts being held online. So yeah, we're
Yeah,
sort of
man,
already
I'm
there,
excited for
man.
VR. Honestly, it's gonna be crazy.
But no, exactly. It's really those things, and the other cool thing about social media is like taking advantage of small clips, so you can release a 3 minute song or however long it is, and just post a funny video that's 10 seconds that happens to have your song in the background, or this little 10-second clip of another part of that same song. So you can, yeah, like we're saying, you can live off of one single, just kind of highlight different parts of the song or use it in different ways for funny videos or whatever it be. And it's kind of easier with metal bands because, metal fans already have built in humor in them. Like, we're all like, I feel like, numb
Not
knuckles.
100% serious.
Yeah, exactly. We're all fun people. I've never met a metalhead that, we look scary, but none of them are. We're all really kind, funny people, which is really
That,
great.
yeah.
Most of them are nerds, to be honest, right? I mean, most metalheads are nerds.
It comes down to, can you talk shit or not?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So exactly. There's already a built-in market, especially with metal people, just of they want to see something funny and random, and you can sneak in your song at the end, and it may just be this fun thing for you. Yeah.
right. And my biggest issue right now is like releasing that single, like on the way to releasing the second one. Like, what do I do in that space? I
Yeah.
have I have those videos. We have done that, like the cookout videos I've told
Right.
you about. I have a video where Luis is explaining the lyrics and how he came up with
Nice.
the lyrics
Nice.
while
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
lyrics are playing in the background. Like
Nice. Yeah.
literally, we
Yeah.
have the song like overlaid. Like we've been doing some cool
Great.
video
Yeah.
editing and all that.
Dude, awesome.
But like how often or like how can do we do that every other day
Yeah.
before the next release comes out, or like every third day, or do you do it every single day? Like how
Yeah.
often are people going to hear that song and be like, I don't want to
Yeah.
look at this band anymore?
Oh yeah, that
Because
that
that's a
is
thing that
that is
happens.
that
Like
is totally a balance that's great that you brought up too, because yeah, because sometimes you can oversaturate
you can
yourself.
overkill something
Yeah,
easy.
totally. Yeah, and if people get too like, all right, well now I'm tired of this, and now it's like they're moving on to the next thing already. So yeah, that is a pretty delicate balance. But I mean, I have to say, I almost think that having less is more. Having one single is just like this, like, oh man, I want to check out what the fuck is going to go happen next with this band. So if you almost like in the beginning of a small band, just create yourself as almost like an enigma, like, you just, you exist, but only to this person. And because people love finding secrets, you love finding a band and showing friends,
Well, we
like,
have a
oh,
jump start because we were Argonaut for the
yeah,
longest time. We have
exactly.
this 6 years in the scene,
Mhm.
6 or 7 years in the scene already. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of friends in the scene, and they already know us because we're almost the same band,
Yeah.
minus one member.
Yep.
So it's like all the same. It's almost the same sound. It almost sounds like Argonaut
So
because
you
it's the
already have
same
those fans that
writers.
are like really eager, like, man, I wonder what they
Yeah,
sound nowadays, now that
yeah,
they've grown,
exactly. We
and
have
yeah,
people
yeah,
who are into it
that's a
already.
different direction. So yeah, totally.
Um,
And you know what? That's what a lot of younger bands don't realize. Sometimes they'll see the bands that just come on the scene and they're like, man, they're already making it. And like it's what's usually
they
because
have a
each member
circle.
has been in failed bands before or
They have a
something like that.
circle.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
exactly. So each member has been in a band that already created a fan base. Now they're accumulated together, and it works out in that way for a lot of bands. But again, that's a point to backtrack a little bit. Like a lot of people kind of get overwhelmed and they see the finish line, and like they don't realize sometimes things take baby steps and you're gonna
Oh
fail a
yeah,
lot. You're gonna have to get used to that. So
yeah. For sure. And I feel like selling a single as a band that has an album versus selling a single as a band that only has a single is an entirely different ballgame.
yeah, no, it's great that you have
So
other stuff baked up behind it.
like
Yeah,
it and what would help me out to promote this shit is to have more with it.
right.
If I had an album and then they came out with a single. I'd be like, oh, check out my band, an established band. We have music, and
Right.
like here's this new single we came out with,
Yeah.
and it's just a struggle coming out as with one song. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it's like as a new band, like got to be cautious, like to not push too much.
Especially
I
where you
feel like
step on it.
it's a
What?
really delicate balance when you're brand new.
Yeah. Are you guys trying to? Do you have played a show in this with this band yet, or
I'm sorry, say what?
have you played a show with this band yet under this band
No,
name?
because
Okay.
they don't have enough songs ready to play.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that's
Well,
another thing. You know what
okay,
I mean?
well,
Like I want to like
because I was going to say that's another huge thing for like because you're saying you already sort
yeah.
of have a fan base, so it would be kind of easier for you to find a big show, and that would just look
Oh
so
dude,
badass, like
finding a show is not a problem. Like we
exactly.
have
So that would just
connections.
look cool to people. Are like, who's this band? Why are they already on this big show? I want to check them out.
Yeah,
So that would help with
everyone in the
marketing,
local
but
scene already knows Cytera. Like I mean everyone who knew Arcanaut knows
right,
Cytera.
okay, yeah,
So anyone who is involved with Arcanaut at all knows that Cytera is a thing already. But like getting a show would not be a problem. We've already
okay,
got offers that we've turned down because
okay,
we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have a full set.
Oh,
You know,
jeez,
we have 3 songs they could play.
yeah,
And as musicians and as me being the manager and as them being musicians, I want to just push them like make
right.
more songs, do it, go,
But
go,
yeah, that
go.
is
And
the delicate thing,
it's
man.
like they have to be ready to do it though. Like
Exactly,
I don't want to be the asshole that's just
exactly.
like, I need more. Come
Mm.
on.
And
Like
that is the thing because I'm sure they're working regular jobs too, right? Or
absolutely everybody
yeah.
is.
See, that's the
Nobody's
thing
making
about
money off of this yet.
exactly, and that's the thing about musicians and local bands is that 9 out of 10 are also working a job that they have to go to the next morning when they're playing a show at night. So that's the other thing I always appreciate with bands and smaller businesses is like you're trying to accomplish this hobby and make it a living while trying to make a living doing something you hate to go to. Well, usually, hopefully there's people out there doing something they love, but for the most part, I remember when I was a musician, I was always getting shitty jobs that I hated going to, and it just made it that much of a harder dance because you're not making money from the thing you love and you still have to go to this other place where you make money and hate. So it's a tough dance. That's why I always appreciate musicians and bands.
Yeah, man, and I feel like I've been pretty lucky. I've found a day job where I'm working at theater shows, doing audio, setting up speakers and microphones,
And it's a
and
great mingling chance too,
oh, it's
right?
cool,
You're
man.
meeting
Yeah,
bands and
I've
shit like
met some
that.
cool people,
Yeah,
and like the dude Aaron I was talking about before. I met him just working at the theater at Orpheum. I'm like,
exactly.
oh shit, you do a lot of music, you do
That's
a lot of
awesome.
this and that. He's like, yeah, I do a lot of studio work. I've worked with all these bands, and he texted me like 8 different things he's working on. I'm like, okay, that's enough, dude. Like, save it for the
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
man. Like, we'll get you on. Don't worry.
that's
And
awesome.
so I
But
can't
yeah,
wait for him to be on. But
and it's crazy, when you start talking to musicians, how accomplished some people are, and you realize, holy shit, like this person lives right here, and they're doing so much, or
well, he's a
mingled with
drummer.
so many people,
He's
and
a drummer, so of course, he's doing 4 other things.
yeah. So I'm sure he's worked with he's had chances of working with some big people, or probably has
Yeah.
worked with some big people, like. I'm me personally. I'm always proud that I have music in a video game. That's like my biggest proud moment
Oh,
of
which
being.
one?
It's called MX versus ATV All Out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Hell
have two
yeah.
songs in that game.
What kind of music?
It was my band Forming Stories. We have two songs, and it's just like metal music. It was just no vocals on the track, but yeah, that's always like my claim to fame is like it was cool too because when it came out, we went to Colorado, my fiance and I at the time. And I remember going to a Walmart and seeing the game there, and I was like, there it is. I was like, man, this goes around the world, and I
That's
have
cool,
songs in
dude.
this. So that's always like, I've met people like that, the other people that have, just you wouldn't think that, and they've done big things. I remember the first time, one of the first times working at Band Oasis, I was talking with this dude. He was a vocalist, and he was waiting for a keyboardist to show up. And he was just talking about they were preparing for a cruise that was coming up, and they were going to drive out to California. But he was a Grammy winner. I looked him up on Google. He had worked with like Whitney Houston and like a whole bunch of other like 80s, 90s stars. But yeah, he was a fucking Grammy winner. I just thought that was so cool. I was fucking talking with this dude, and he was just this normal, cool as shit fucking guy. So it's just crazy, and you get into the music world and people that really fucking try and fail, you really realize how many people have done some pretty cool things and still trying other things.
Yeah, man. When it comes to entertainment, I mean, how many things you got to try before something sticks, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a
Exactly.
lot of shit that people come out with that's just not good or people
Mm.
just don't like. Maybe
Yeah.
it's really good and nobody hears it,
Oh yeah,
you
totally.
know? So it's like there's a lot of art out there that never hears
That's
never gets to anybody's ears.
I feel
There's
that
a
way
lot of
all the time when I find like a really solid local band, man. I'm just like, man, this is like here we are listening to this amazing band, and like they're not even touched the entire world yet. Like this should be something that that's touched to everybody, and it's just like here I am only listening to myself, and I'm just like,
dude, that's how I felt about Argonaut the entire time they were Argonaut. They had 13 songs tight as fuck, ready to
yeah,
play on stage. And like, I was constantly trying to push them to get them recorded,
yeah,
and everything we tried fell through.
yeah. No,
Every
I
single
know plenty
person we
of.
hit up to record, it fell through. Something went wrong. Oh, these
Yeah,
files got corrupted. This happened. That
it
happened.
really
And
is
then
just about who you know a lot of the
we ran
times,
out of
man.
money and
Yeah.
lost steam. And then now we're Cytera. I feel like I have the same problem. I'm trying to get more songs. I need the goddamn songs recorded.
Dude, you got to it's all about interludes, bro. You need those 2 minute long interludes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Fill up the space like two songs. It's like two actual songs on a 12 track album.
Yeah, it's just trying to get it released. I need it
Yeah,
released. I
yeah.
need it on the internet. I need it out there.
Yeah,
They
that's
can do
awesome.
whatever they want. Write whatever the fuck you want, guys. I don't give a fuck. Like, man, just release it. Get it out there. I need people to listen to it. It's hard to
Um,
market something that's not there.
yeah. Well, dude, I hate to be that guy, but you got like maybe one or two more questions for me before I
Oh,
dip
this
out here
is
and get
not
some
an interview.
groceries.
This is a conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
anything you want to pick my brain
Hey
on
man, if you want to wrap this up, that's cool,
before I
man.
sneak out of here? No,
Um,
yeah, I just got to get some groceries before I go start work and
that's all
everything.
right.
So I got
Real
to get
life shit. I got it.
back to our normal stuff like we were just talking about. That's like the full circle of this. Is just like
Dude,
trying to sneak
you
in
gotta
fun things like
live.
this. Yeah, sneak in fun things like this, and
You only see the entertaining parts, right? That's the only time you want to actually get shit
man, I
down.
do miss playing out music, man. I've been trying to relearn old songs. That's what's been keeping me busy and motivated lately.
Well, I actually didn't know you're a guitarist, but I might have some ideas for you if you want to work as a guitarist.
Oh yeah, man. I'm a
But
riff
I'm
master.
honestly interested in your knowledge as far as like the AZ local show goes and the video knowledge.
Well,
Um,
everything's a stepping stone, man. That's for
oh
sure.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
like we were talking about, I just doing everything with my phone for so long. And it's only really in the past few years that I've upgraded my shit and gotten really nice cameras and stuff.
But knowing that you're really into video and all that stuff, I might have some work for you as far as my band goes.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
They
dude.
fucking love video,
Yeah, yeah.
and as far as I've seen, like you've been experimenting a lot longer than we have.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
we could
Yeah,
use your knowledge, throw you a couple bucks, you
yeah,
know.
totally, man. And that's what the thing about having AZ local show is it was this fun outlet where I could just experiment and learn at the same time. Where it was okay to be silly and try some fun things with like green screens and things like that.
Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
that's how I learned how to start using green screens and
We
stuff
got
like
green
that.
screens.
Yeah, so that's how I started like learning how to use those was just having fun and just being stupid on AZ local show and doing funny stuff on there. But yeah, no, I'm always thankful for the knowledge that I
That's
gain.
cool. Well, I'm excited to see where you take it. If you're gonna keep taking it somewhere, or
Hell
if
yeah,
not,
hell
hopefully
yeah.
we can
No,
work together at some capacity at some time in the future.
for sure. No, I definitely want to bring AZ local show back. I'll bring full
Awesome.
speed once things get normal again.
Hell yeah, go look it up, people.
Hell yeah, thank you,
All
Spencer.
right, good talking to you, man.
Hell yeah, bro.